So Evan Corcoran does his investigation, and despite Trump and Walt Nauda's efforts to take all the boxes away before Evan Corcoran could find the documents, he still finds documents because there were so many around. So in response to this, I cannot believe this paragraph exists. In one of the most damaging passages of the notes, Mr. Corcoran describes how Mr. Trump made a quote, plucking motion after he had placed about 40 secret documents in a folder in preparation for handing them over to federal prosecutors. Mr. Corcoran said the gesture made him think that Mr. Trump was suggesting that he should take the folder to his hotel room, quote, his hotel room, and if there's anything really bad in there, like, pluck it out. I hope that I don't need to explain to the audience how highly illegal that is and highly unwise it is to tell your lawyer, look, I did everything I could to stop you from getting these documents, but I biffed it and you got some. So could you now get rid of the documents? That's madness. Obviously, the guy's not gonna do that. Evan Corcoran is not Rudy Giuliani. He's not going down with this ship. That's madness. But somehow, there's maybe one layer beyond that. When he makes it even more explicit what he wants than the plucking motion, Mr. Trump went on to speak admiringly about an unnamed lawyer for Hillary Clinton. Trump claimed that the lawyer had taken responsibility for deleting emails from a private server for her. He was great, he did a great job. He said that it was him, that he was the one who deleted all of the emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great. And so she didn't get any trouble because he said that he was the one who deleted them. That is,
I have a friend.
You take the fall for it. That's madness.
No, but
I don't know how obstruction could be more obvious than this. Like if he had taken Evan Corcoran in a headlock and then tried to power force feed the documents down his craw, it would not be more obvious than what he did instead.
Like I'm surprised there isn't a no backsies quote, like, well, you touched it, it's yours, you touched it, you did it. Like, again, with the not trying to touch him with a 10-foot pole, look at the people who have defended Donald Trump, right? Michael Cohen, prison time. Alan Weisselberg, right now, prison time, guys. These are former like CFOs and lawyers for Donald Trump. These are former Trump lawyers. They know that the likelihood they could also be facing prison time is very, very high, which is sad because it seems like the rube who did get caught up on this, I guess, didn't have a law degree or wasn't paying attention to how all the other rubes have gone down and broken the fall for Donald Trump. So Nauda, or whatever his name is now, in it's United States versus Trump and Nauda.
Yeah. Like speaking of rubes, there's all these lawyers obviously who don't want to defend Donald Trump. And I get that from the point of view of being a lawyer, it would seem to be a bad thing to potentially sully your reputation by being affiliated with Donald Trump, potentially being thrown in jail as so many of his lawyers do, and potentially not being paid for all of this. But that's if you're just thinking about it in terms of I'm gonna become his lawyer and we're gonna like go to trial or something. But all you have to do is become his lawyer, stand near him for a bit. He'll willingly admit crimes. You write a book and you make, I don't know, $500,000. That seems like a much better plan from my point of view, because like it cannot be exaggerated how stupid and criminal Donald Trump is. He is a stupid criminal and he's a criminal that is stupid. And he just openly admits to all this stuff. Every single thing that he said to Evan Corcoran was him admitting to a crime that he had already done or suggesting that Evan Corcoran commit a crime. All of this, by the way, tailor-made to produce the exemption from attorney-client privilege that we talked about months ago. That's how we know about all this, is it's the crime fraud exemption. So if you are telling your lawyer to help you commit a crime or continue the crime that they're brought on to represent you on, then you do not have attorney-client privilege and they can be forced to testify. I don't even know that he was forced to testify. If I were him, I'd probably be enthusiastic about testifying. But for a guy who has been sued and sued hundreds of people, how could he not know what he was setting himself up for?
Yeah, no, I think that's so important. He needs to know this, but can I just say, I didn't get to talk to you about the original scandal and how all this broke. And I truly love this indictment. I love these crimes more than any of the other crimes because it's the one thing that Trump did absolutely to himself, for himself, and largely by himself, right? He owns this completely. And it happened after he left the White House. And actually these charges are coming pretty quickly after he left the White House. I mean, it feels like yesterday that he was there. And these charges are coming down really quickly, even though it was months that they asked for these classified documents back. You can only imagine what would have happened. Probably would have avoided a lot of these charges. And no other Republican, and we'll get into this, is really coming out to defend him that much because it's like, bro, you didn't even do this to try and stay in office where we wanted you to. You could do whatever you want with our democracy. I mean, we wipe our asses with it every single day. But when it comes to you having your little show and tell docs in Mar-a-Lago and keeping them in the shower, yeah, we're not really gonna go with you on that because it has nothing to do with us maintaining power.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.